So would you tell us about the convenience factor of frozen vegetables?
So cooking process takes about 10 to 15 minutes. While in 10 to 15 minutes, definitely more vitamins get lost actually compared to the frozen product. So all the frozen vegetables, nutrition values are remain intact. In fact, they are actually the better than if you compare to the fresh vegetables.
Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Valet Talks. Today we are going to discuss about a topic that affects everyone's plate, that is our food. Today joining us is Satish Saundatti, a visionary behind Veeg Crops and Agro Products, a frozen food brand. Today we'll explore about the truth about nutrition, the frozen foods, its convenience factor, its sustainability, and its effect in the global markets. So everyone be ready to change your perspective behind frozen foods. Hello sir.
Hello.
Can you tell us a little brief about yourself?
Yeah, my name is Satish Saundatti. I started basically I had totally about more than 35 years of experience in sales and marketing, and I worked in different industries, starting from pharmaceutical to the FMCG, then IT industries and document management. And from 2015 onwards, I was dedicated to this agro-waste industry, and particularly in the fresh and frozen vegetables in space. We have started this veg crop company. Basically, the idea of the veg crop is to connect the farmers, the farming community, to the end consumers, keeping the sustainability and a social responsibility in mind. For us is the sustainability is very important thing. So it will connect actually to the global audience and with the social responsibility. So this is our main focus of veg crop.
Have you ever wondered that frozen vegetables could be actually better than fresh vegetables, considering it nutritionally, convenience wise? So we will ask him to shed light on these points.
Yeah. So let's see, because in veg crop, apart from the sustainability, we talk about how we can add the value to the consumers and customers. So there is a perception the people is that the fresh is better, and people consider the frozen is a as a processed food. But actually, if you look into the frozen, the vegetables or the frozen, the ready meals, they are not a process like the other the ambient processed foods like, for example, tomato ketchups, sausages, or noodles. The ready meal mixes, etc. So the here the processing happens only the way we cook at home. For example, if you take uh, frozen vegetables, like, for example, you can take spinach. Now, what happens is that the spinach is harvested in the farm by the farmers between morning 8 to 10 o'clock, and then that particular spinach is transferred to the nearest factory, which is a processing facility, where these particular spinaches are sorted and graded and washed clean, and infected part is removed and chopped into small pieces, and then mixes with the water, and then it goes through something, the process known as blanching. The blanching enables us to remove all the unwanted bacteria. So blanching is nothing but the passing particular spinach through the steam. When it passes to the steam, all unwanted bacteria are get killed, and then after blanching, the spinach cubes are passed in a frozen the chamber, which we call that IQF, which is individual quick freezing, where the spinach is when it is the freeze at minus 35 degrees centigrade. At minus 35 degrees centigrade, the microbial activity stops completely, and the particular product remains fresh as it is. So look at the nutritional values. Now, when you freeze the any product, whether it is spinach or a carrot or a beans or a cauliflower or a green peas, there is all these nutritional values like proteins, carbohydrates, minerals, fats, and vitamins. All are remain intact, except some water soluble vitamins like vitamin B, vitamin C. Are there is a little bit degradation happens. A degradation happens. But actually, if you compare these things at your home cooking, because even in home also, you don't eat spinach or a carrot or a beans or a cauliflower raw. You have to cut it, chop it, and then boil it and cook it. So cooking process takes about 10 to 15 minutes. In the while in 10 to 15 minutes, definitely more vitamins get lost actually compared to the frozen products. Because frozen products are actually are just the blanching process takes only few seconds. For example, as the spinach we blanch only for 30 seconds, and products like drumsticks or a bitter gourd, which is we have to blanch it for about a minute, a minute, 1 minute, or a maximum 1.5 minutes, as if it is the product is harder actually. So all the frozen vegetables nutrition values are remain intact. In fact, they are actually the better than if you compare to the fresh vegetables. Because in fresh vegetables, for example, if you take spinach or a beans or a cauliflower, all these actually from the farming, harvesting, by the time they're received by the consumers, it is more than 24 hours. And in the transit, a lot of these nutrient values are get lost actually. Lost in the transit, lost because they're exposed to sun, they're exposed to wind, exposed to various weather conditions. And the way in India these products are been stored, they are not stored in refrigerated conditions like in European or a US market. So they are stored in open environment. In that open environment, all these nutrients get lost. So definitely there is a clear advantage factor is there when you choose frozen against fresh. Of course, the fresh is the best one, the no doubt about it. But actually, the frozen is also as compared to the fresh, it is better. And apart from nutrient value, there are so many other benefits of frozen vegetables which we can talk during the discussion.
Sir, out of this discussion, you have busted two main myths. One is people normally say frozen vegetables are artificial. They are nowhere artificial. In the process which you mentioned,
Yes.
frozen vegetables are not at all artificial. The second thing which you put shed light on was the preservability. Normally, people think any layman thinks the preservatives are added while freezing in the freezing process. But as you explained, nothing of that sort is done. And the third most important point was normally how much ever time we take for say blanching or cooking, for moringa, for drumsticks you said you freeze it for blanch it for 1.5 minutes.
Correct.
We normally blanch it for 10 minutes, 15 minutes. In that, I think almost all the nutritional value will
Yes.
get affected.
Yes.
So these few myths are really being busted, which is very important because normal people don't have this perspective to look towards frozen vegetables. What would you tell us about the convenience part of it? Because nowadays normally everyone is working in the house, they really don't have time to go to the market, get the vegetables, clean them. Like, we don't have that and it takes a lot of time to do all that. So what would you tell us about the convenience factor of frozen vegetables?
So let me first look into this preservative part. There are a lot of people think that why this frozen vegetables or a frozen food is actually can last for 18 months, 24 months, or 36 months. Now let us look into why any food actually gets spoiled. First of all, you have to understand that whether it is any home cooked food or any vegetables, when they are exposed or they kept actually in a room temperature, there is something known as microbial activity, because in our environment there are a lot of bacteria or fungi are present. Now once actually after the one is food is produced, these bacteria and fungi started attacking these food. So that's known as microbial activity, and within few hours the product starts getting spoiled. But when you keep these particular vegetables or a cooked food in a refrigerator, the microbial activity is reduces but doesn't stops completely. So it means that actually instead of when you're keeping in a room temperature certain food, it remains fresh or edible for a few hours. Whereas in refrigerator, it can be stay fresh or edible for 4 to 5 days or even 1 week. But beyond 1 week, it will get spoiled there also. But on the other hand, when you talk about the frozen, we don't use any preservatives or artificial flavors, something in frozen food or of course, the frozen vegetables are totally natural. There's no question of being an artificial or adding a preservative. But actually, some processed food have the preservative to increase the shelf life. But in frozen vegetables, I'm saying that there is no preservatives. In frozen food, there is no preservative at all, because there's no requirement of adding any preservatives in the frozen food. Because when you process these frozen food at minus 35-degree temperature, so the complete microbial activity stops completely, and there is no chance of any microbial activity. And after processing, all these food are stored in minus 18 degree centigrade, and at the study shows that at minus 18 degree centigrade there is no microbial activity. In fact, actually, if you keep the product at minus 18 degree centigrade, there is no chance of spoilage. There is not question of even 18 months, 24 months, or even you take 5 years also, the product will remain as it is, as long as your temperature is maintained. But if there is a variation of temperatures between say 18, minus 10, minus 5, then there may be slight color changes may happen actually. But actually the food is definitely edible. And of course we have tested all these food after 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, 24 months for microbial activity, for micro testing as per the food safety standards. And we found that the food is absolutely safe actually at minus 18 degrees centigrade.
As you said, we have 18 months of shelf life. So, can you again put light on the availability? Because we've come to know now that it is available all day, all year round. Yeah. So, can you elaborate more on that?
Yeah, basically you have to understand that all these frozen vegetables are actually processed when it is in the season and at the peak season. For example, okra. If you take the okra, the peak season is because okra is a summer crop. It actually grows in the month of April, May, and June. These are 3 months are very peak for the okra, and that's what all the processor want to process these particular okra in these 3 months, so that okra the yield is very high and is more profitable for the farmers also, and more profitable to the processor also, because the okra at these particular 3 months is comparatively more economical instead of buying these okras in the winter actually, because that's number one. Now because of the seasonality, you can take any product. Okra, as I said, that actually it is processed between month of uh, April, May, and June. Spinach, for example, is a winter crop. It is processed in the month of November and December. Green peas is processed in the month of December, January, and February. Or carrot, for example, it is processed in the month of March and April. So, or for example, if you take beans, French beans, it is processed in the month of October and November. So, all these products are there. These are all seasonal vegetables, are processed actually in the season at the peak. So that when you're at the peak of the season, all uh, the vegetables are good at its nutrition values, and also they are more economical and availability is abundant. Once these products have been processed in the peak, they are stored actually after processing. They are stored at minus 18 degree temperature in the uh, bigger refrigerator, which we called as a and storages. And after the storing these products at minus 18 degrees centigrade, they are sold actually throughout the year. And because of that, these products are available throughout the year at same price. For example, if you take actually a broccoli, now broccoli in the winter of month of say November and December, it is harvested by the farmer and sold in the local market at 40 rupees to 50 rupees kg, and which is that particular product is available in the market to the end consumers, say for example 150 rupees, 100 to 150 rupees a kg in the winter. But the same broccoli, if you take in the summer, it costs about 450 rupees a kg. That's actually about approximately about 125 to 150 rupees for a pack of say 150 to 200 grams. Now, if you compare to the frozen broccoli is purchased from the farmers in the particular in the month of November, December in the winter at lower price and sold at 225 rupees a kg throughout the year. Means actually for 150-gram packet you will get at 75 rupees instead of people are buying the same product at 150 rupees this thing. So that all these products are, if you take comparatively, if you look into these things, these products are cheaper and they have same prices throughout the year. Even for example, uh, potato or tomato. The tomatoes are not available anything less than 40 rupees or 50 rupees. The olden days are gone where the tomatoes were available at 15 rupees or 20 rupees. Now tomatoes are very expensive. Sometimes the prices shoots up to 100 rupees also. So, but if you freeze that particular tomato and they sell these tomatoes throughout the year, then the price will remain the stagnant. And that's what actually so many bigger the companies, the QSR companies, like for example, if you take a McDonald or a Haldiram or a KFC, they are dependent on frozen vegetables, frozen cut vegetables, so that they can they keep the control of their prices throughout the year.
Sir, can you help make me understand the growing global trends of frozen vegetables? Like we have our communities outside Indians, how use of frozen vegetables is increasing, and how can it cater their taste buds?
Okay. See, the global uh, trend towards the particular frozen vegetable is rapidly increasing due to its the convenience and availability throughout the year. So these are the two major factors are there. And if you look into the market size, actually, it is approximately $240 billion only vegetables. And the main drivers in these vegetables are few are there, like for example, green peas, green beans, carrot, cauliflower, spinach, and sweet corn. These are five, six. The vegetables are actually eaten by all communities, whether it is a Indian or a Asian or a European or any communities, because everybody eats beans, everybody eats carrot, everybody eats peas. This thing. So there is a huge demand is there, and Indian perspective, you definitely there is a wide scope is there where we can grow these vegetables with sustainable agriculture practices and process them, because India has a diversified uh, uh, India has a very diverse climatic conditions, because we can grow beans, this thing, beans, carrot, or peas, or spinach, and we can drive these the sales to the in a global market.
Can you highlight a few top markets for these frozen vegetables, if you can?
Yeah, the frozen vegetables are basically, as I told you, they are sold in every market. They're not a specific thing. But if you look into the US market, for example, now compared to Europea, in the US is in fact the frozen food market in US itself is about $90 billion. So they are the number one because they eat so many frozen compared to Indians. Now Indians. primarily eat frozen vegetables, primarily green peas, sweet corn. These are the two main things. And some in North India, so many people eat mixed vegetable also, which is a combination of green peas, carrot, and beans, or sometimes cauliflower. So these things are there, but there is huge demand is there. But there are a lot of issues are there with Indian agriculture practices because the global trend of these frozen vegetables, what the most important thing is quality because uh, in global environment, for example, if we take UK or a Germany or any other European countries, they want actually their consumers should consume the very high quality vegetables because their government want their government insist on good agriculture practices in their particular respective countries. The good agriculture practices means actually the farm produce which is sold to the consumer, it should be free from harmful pesticide residues. And every country has made the pesticide MRL levels, which are actually MRL levels are which are very safe to consume to the consumers. But in unfortunately in India, there are rules are there, but unfortunately in India the farmers don't practices good agriculture practices. They don't have proper knowledge about the usage of these pesticide residues. So that is the biggest problem actually, because the most important thing if you want to uh, drive the global market, you need to have the proper means traceability is very important thing. The what food actually from where it comes, which are the farmers, who are they produced actually, what kind of agriculture practices they are using, what kind of integrated pest management they are using it. So all these are very important things. Sustainability comes in. Sustainability, or I'm talking about the crop rotation is important thing. How the crop is getting rotated. How the agriculture waste is decomposed and converted into the compost. All these are important things. How the pesticide you are using, which kind of pesticides are using. So basically, I can say that uh, the most important thing is that traceability is very important thing. If you want to drive the sales to the global market, India has to produce very high quality vegetables which are as per the international standards, which are residue free, sustainably grown. That's more important thing. And once that is done, the secondary is a process, and third is a market. The at Veg Crop, what we are trying to connect actually is basically the farmer community, where we're trying to educate them at what is the sustainable agriculture, what is the traceability, and then how we can uh, give the value to the farmers by giving them better prices to their farm produce, and then process at very good environment and with good food safety standards, and then selling in a global market. So we're trying to connect actually the backward integrations with the forward integrations. So there's a value to the farmers. The we are talking about the social services, uh, which is basically very important thing. The social responsibility of the farmers, how the farmers can be empowered, how farmers can get better rates to their farm producers. That's number one. Then that is to the value to the farmers through the sustainability, farmers and value to the investors in form of the processing and selling these product produced in large quantity, and value to the end consumers. Because the what we are talking about the end consumer, the value is that my particular vegetables are produced actually sustainably, and the sold at a better prices. So the sustainability and the convenience and of course the pesticide residue free vegetables. So I'm talking about food safety, sustainability, and convenience to the value to the end consumers. Yeah.
This answer was really an eye opener, not
Yeah.
only to the common man, but I think for the farmers also, to get a better really work to meet up to those standards and then do it. Can you just share a few hurdles you faced during this international trade? Say any problems which you faced,
Yeah,
which
the
you could
basically,
overcome?
yeah, basic hurdles are there. See, India is definitely lacking the quality, basically, because I know that when we started this this fresh vegetable export journey in 2012, in my place Belgaum, where some importer came to my village and they said, "Bhaiya, why don't you export fresh vegetables to Middle East countries, and we can take 1 tons per day with 5 shipments per week." And then we were very happy because we had our own farms, and we started growing these things. And uh, but when we started the shipping the shipments to Middle East countries, then we found that actually they are rejecting our shipments. Then we found that and there are the rejections are so many rejections, and in fact actually my shipment used to go by air early morning around 4:30 for 5 o'clock, and we used to wait actually by around 4 o'clock in the afternoon at 4 or 5 o'clock. What is the phone call I'm going to receive actually today's shipment? His quality is good or bad? Because India, the farmers are not educated properly. Even for example, if you can take grapes for instance, India is one of the largest producer of grapes actually, up from South Africa and South America. Whereas the grapes, uh, the in Nasik, the good quality grapes are exported, and B grade quality and C grade quality are sold in a Indian means domestic market. I think actually Indian government should look into these things, and they should see that actually even our Indians, we also should eat the same quality what has been exported actually, because India should control these pesticide. The farming is very important thing, because if you want to dominate in the international markets, the backend integration is very important thing, because processing is anybody can do that, because there are technologies available nowadays. You can buy the technology if you have the money. But the most important thing is the backward integration. Unless and until we improve the backward integrations, we cannot grow. And that's what actually veg crop is trying to do, that particular thing.
Can you share a quick recipe which you want to share with our viewers, which they can make using frozen vegetables?
Yeah, one of the recipe we can say easy is basically a Maggi noodles, where you can just pack of noodle you can take and pick up our frozen vegetables, mixed vegetables pack, which contains green beans, carrot, and green peas. Just add actually that frozen vegetables, and you make your noodle very healthy and very tasty, instead of just adding the masala and salt in the noodles. So you can have a very healthy snack, a healthy and very quick snack actually with our frozen vegetables.
Thank you so much,
Thank
sir. This talk has been an eye opener for me as well. It has put light, especially on the backward integration, which you've said, how farming is important, how the importance of improving the quality in farming, how educating the farmer is very important. So, thank you once again
Okay.
for coming here and sharing your insights. Additionally, it has been an eye opener in a sense that till today, even in my kitchen, frozen vegetables were always a backup plan.
Yeah.
But frozen vegetables are something more than a backup plan now. It really adds to the nutrition to the plate. So thank you so much, and I request all the viewers to visit their website and explore all the products they have, and do add whatever are your thoughts regarding vegetables in the comments, and we can discuss it with him. Thank you. Thank you so
Okay.
much.